You march for equal pay. You demand equal representation. You speak eloquently of dismantling gender roles, of refusing to be defined by outdated expectations, of claiming your power as a woman in the modern world. And then the bill comes, and you wait. You glance at him. You perform the reach for your wallet, that theatrical gesture everyone recognizes as theater, while secretly hoping, expecting, requiring that he will stop you, that he will insist, that he will pay. And I who have watched humanity justify its contradictions with magnificent creativity, who have seen how quickly revolutionary language becomes the costume for ancient desires, I say to you, you are pursuing advantage. You want liberation from the burdens of traditional femininity while maintaining all its privileges. You want revolution without cost, power without responsibility, freedom without risk. You want to overthrow the king but keep his treasury. You want to dismantle the throne but still wear the crown. And you call this inconsistency nuance, this contradiction, complexity, this refusal to accept the full implications of your own ideology, balance. But I call it what it is. You want equality only in the domains where equality benefits you, and tradition in all the domains where tradition serves you. You are not a revolutionary. You are a negotiator, trying to get the best deal possible from two incompatible systems, cherry-picking from each whatever advantages they offer while discarding their corresponding obligations. Tell me, when did equality become a la carte? When did liberation become a menu from which you select only the items that suit your taste? When did the revolution become a shopping trip where you try on new powers without removing old privileges? The bill always comes, not just at dinner. The bill for every ideology, every revolution, every claim to power. And real equality, the kind that transforms rather than decorates, requires payment in full. Imagine a revolutionary. She storms the palace. She denounces the monarchy. She speaks passionately of equality, of ending hierarchy, of dismantling the structures that concentrate power in the hands of the few. The king flees. The throne sits empty. Victory. But then she makes an interesting choice. She refuses the throne. Yes, she's a revolutionary, after all, not a tyrant. She doesn't want to replace one ruler with another. She wants equality. But the crown jewels, those she keeps. The royal guard who protects her, she keeps them too. The palace itself, well, she doesn't sit on the throne, but she lives in the master suite. The treasury, she's against inherited wealth in principle, but these particular riches seem different. Earned by her revolution, owed to her for her suffering under the old regime. And when someone points out the contradiction that she's kept all the benefits of monarchy while claiming to have abolished it, she becomes outraged. How dare they question her revolutionary credentials? Don't they understand nuance, context, that her situation is different? You are this revolutionary. You have stormed the palace of patriarchy. You have denounced its hierarchies. You speak eloquently of equality. But you have kept the crown jewels of traditional femininity, the expectation of provision, of protection, of being courted, of having doors opened and dinners paid for and heavy objects lifted and first place on the lifeboat. You want equality in salary, but chivalry in dating. You want to be as equal in the workplace, but still expect him to be taller, stronger, richer, still expect him to pursue, to provide, to protect. You want liberation from the constraints of femininity, but not from its privileges. And when the contradiction is named, you call it wanting the best of both worlds, as if revolution were a buffet, as if equality were negotiable, as if you could dismantle half a hierarchy while keeping the half that serves you. Let us examine the mathematics of your position. Let us follow the logic to its conclusion, that place you avoid looking because the view is uncomfortable. You want equal pay for equal work. I agree. This is just. But equal pay means equal responsibility. It means you don't leave early because childcare is women's work. It means you take the dangerous jobs, the offshore rigs, the coal mines, the night shifts in rough neighborhoods, all the places where men earn more because they accept more risk, more discomfort, more danger. You want equal representation in boardrooms. I agree. This is just money. But equal representation means equal accountability. It means when the company fails, you bear equal blame. When the decision is unpopular, you face equal criticism. When the risk doesn't pay off, you suffer equal consequences. No more hiding behind they're being harsh because I'm a woman. Equal representation means equal exposure. You want to dismantle gender roles. I agree. This is liberation. But dismantling gender roles means all of them. It means you don't expect him to initiate. You don't expect him to propose. You don't expect him to earn more, be taller, be stronger, be older, be the pursuer, the protector, the provider. It means you split everything: the bill, the initiative, the risk, the emotional labor of relationship, maintenance. You want liberation from the expectation to be beautiful, domestic, submissive. I agree. This is freedom. But liberation from those expectations means liberation from their compensation. It means you don't get special treatment for being attractive. You don't get provided for in exchange for housework. You don't get protected in exchange for submission. No more social safety net woven from feminine appeal. No more backup plan of finding a provider if your career doesn't work out. You see the pattern? Each freedom has a cost. Each dismantled obligation eliminates its corresponding privilege. This is not cruelty. This is mathematics. This is logic. This is what equality actually means when you follow it to its conclusion instead of stopping at the point where it becomes inconvenient. The dinner check is not about money. It is a litmus test for your actual beliefs about equality. It is the moment where your stated values meet your embedded expectations. And in that moment, the truth reveals itself. You say you want equality, but when the check arrives, you engage in an elaborate performance. You reach for your wallet slowly. You glance at him. You hesitate. You wait to see if he'll intercept. And if he doesn't, if he suggests splitting it, you feel something. Disappointment, a sense that he's cheap, a feeling that he's not quite man enough, that he's failing some test you never explicitly stated, but definitely expect him to pass. And this feeling, this visceral reaction, exposes what you actually believe beneath your stated politics. You believe, at some level you don't want to examine, that his masculinity is measured by his provision, that his value is demonstrated through his willingness to pay, that equality is wonderful in theory, but in practice, traditional gender roles serve you, and you're not quite ready to release them. You have been trained by centuries of evolution, by cultural conditioning, by romance novels and romantic comedies, to equate male provision with male worthiness, to see his willingness to pay as proof of his investment, his interest, his value as a partner. And no amount of feminist theory has fully dislodged this embedded expectation. So you exist in a contradiction. Your ideology says equality. Your instincts say provision. Your words say independent woman. Your expectations say traditional man. And you have convinced yourself that this contradiction is not hypocrisy, but simply complex gender dynamics, or transitional norms, or having standards. But I ask you, if you truly believed in equality, wouldn't you reach for that check with the same confidence you bring to demanding equal pay? If you truly wanted to dismantle gender roles, wouldn't you be eager to split the bill, to prove you expect nothing, require nothing, depend on nothing except what you can provide yourself? The dinner check reveals what you actually value versus what you claim to value. And what it reveals is that you want equality where equality benefits you, and tradition where tradition serves you. You want equal treatment. You want to be judged on your merits, not your gender. You want your competence recognized, your humanity acknowledged, your worth understood as independent of your biology. And then you filter your dating apps by height. You want a man taller than you, preferably significantly taller. If you're 5'5", he should be 5 to 10 at minimum. If you're 5 to 10, he should be 6 feet or more. This is not negotiable. But let us examine this preference. Let us look at what it actually represents. When you require a man to be taller, you are requiring a visible, physical manifestation of male dominance. You are requiring that he be literally above you, that when you stand together, the hierarchy is visible. You are requiring the optics of traditional gender relations, the strong man, the protected woman, the size difference that signals his capacity to shield you, defend you, dominate you if necessary. This is not about aesthetics. This is about maintaining traditional gender hierarchy in the most literal physical form, his body over yours, his strength greater than yours, his physical dominance a constant, visible reminder of traditional masculine superiority. And you want this, you require this, while simultaneously demanding equality in every other domain. The contradiction is exquisite. You want to be his equal in status, salary, and social standing, but you want him to be your superior in height, strength, and earning power. You want equality, except where equality would eliminate the feeling of being protected, provided for, dominated in the ways that make you feel feminine, desirable, chosen. You want to have your equality and your hierarchy too. You want to dismantle gender roles while maintaining the specific gender dynamics that serve your desire to feel small, protected, pursued. You want liberation for you and traditional masculinity for him. This is not equality. This is supremacy with better marketing. You are strong, independent, capable. You need no man. You can do anything he can do. You are his equal in every way, except when you're walking alone at night, except when there's a strange noise in the house, except when someone is aggressive in public, except when there's physical danger. Then you expect him to step between you and the threat. You expect him to be the shield. You expect him to risk his body to protect yours. You expect him to be, suddenly and without negotiation, your protector. And if he doesn't, if he suggests you handle it together as equals, if he proposes that since you're equals in all things, you're equals in facing danger, you would be horrified. You would question his masculinity, because you don't actually want equality in danger. You want equality in safety and protection and threat. You want to be treated as his equal when equality is comfortable and as his responsibility when circumstances become dangerous. This is the unspoken contract. You get equality in opportunity and protection in adversity. You get independence when it suits you and dependence when it serves you. You get to claim strength while requiring his strength to shield you. You get to perform capability while expecting his capability to save you. But equality doesn't work this way. Equality means equal exposure to danger, equal responsibility for your own protection, equal obligation to defend. If you are truly his equal, then when threat appears, you stand beside him, not behind him. You share the risk. You accept that your body is no more sacred than his, your safety no more important than his, your fear no more valid than his. Real equality means no human shields. It means you don't expect him to be more disposable than you. It means when the ship sinks, it's not women and children first, it's everyone equal in their right to survive. Can you accept this? Would you accept this? Or does the word equality die on your lips when confronted with its actual implications? You don't need a man to provide for you. You have your own career, your own money, your own apartment. You are financially independent, except you still filter dating profiles by income. Except you still feel uncomfortable if he earns less than you. Except you still expect him to pay for dates, to pick up the larger share of expenses, to eventually upgrade your lifestyle rather than merely share it. Except you still judge his worth partly by his earning power. Except you still see his financial success as attractive and his financial struggle as repellent. You claim you don't need provision, but you absolutely prefer it, and you structure your romantic life around securing it. Listen to how you speak about men. He's very successful. He has a great career. He's doing really well for himself. These are compliments. These are what make him attractive. Would you speak this way if you truly didn't care about provision? Would his earning power factor into your desire if you genuinely saw yourself as his financial equal? Or notice the reverse. You would not seriously consider a man who earns significantly less than you. You might date him briefly, but marry him, build a life with him, have children with him while you out-earn him significantly? This makes you uncomfortable. You can feel it, the visceral resistance to being the primary provider, to being financially responsible for another adult, to having a partner whose earning power is less than yours. This discomfort reveals your true values. You want the option to work, but you want the security of a partner who could provide if you chose not to. You want career equality, but you want a financial backup plan woven from traditional masculine responsibility. You want independence as long as dependence remains available if needed. This is not equality. This is having your security and your freedom too. This is wanting men to carry all the traditional obligations while you carry only the ones you choose. You have discovered emotional labor. This is your trump card in any discussion of equality. You perform emotional labor, you say. You manage the household's emotions. You remember birthdays. You maintain social relationships. You carry the mental load of domestic life. This is work. This is valuable. This should be recognized, appreciated, compensated. I agree. It is work. It should be recognized. But let us discuss the labor you don't count. Let us discuss the labor you expect from men without recognition, appreciation, or compensation. Let us discuss the emotional labor of always being strong, of never showing fear, of being the one who handles danger, of being the disposable one in crisis. Let us discuss the physical labor you simply expect, the heavy lifting, the repairs, the dangerous tasks, the middle of the night, investigation of strange noises. Let us discuss the financial labor of being expected to earn more, to provide backup security, to be capable of supporting the family if needed. You meticulously count your labor. You create spreadsheets of domestic task division. You write articles about the invisible work you do. But his labor? That's just what men do. That's not labor, that's masculinity. His emotional suppression isn't work, it's nature. His physical risk isn't service, it's role. His financial pressure isn't burden, it's expectation. You have made a brilliant rhetorical move. You have defined labor as only the things you do. Your tasks are work. His tasks are just masculinity. Your obligations are burdens. His obligations are identity. This allows you to keep meticulous account of what you give while never tallying what you take. But real equality requires honest accounting. It requires recognizing all forms of labor, emotional, physical, financial. It requires valuing his sacrifices as much as your own. It requires admitting that if you want the emotional labor to be divided, then the physical danger, the financial pressure, the expectations of strength, stoicism, and provision must also be divided. Are you willing? Are you willing to take equal turns investigating strange noises, equal shifts in the dangerous jobs, equal pressure to earn, to provide, to be the stable one financially, equal obligation to suppress fear, to perform strength, to carry the burden of being the protector? Or do you want your labor counted and his labor invisible? Let me tell you what real equality, not the negotiated, selective, advantageous version you're pursuing, but actual equality would require you to relinquish the expectation that he pursues you. Real equality means equal initiative. You ask him out as often as he asks you. You risk rejection as often as he does. You carry equal burden of putting yourself forward, of making yourself vulnerable, of facing potential humiliation. No more waiting to be chosen. No more being pursued while you evaluate pursuers. Equal pursuit means equal risk of being unwanted. The expectation that he proposes. Real equality means the proposal comes from whoever wants marriage, not from the man by default. You propose if you want marriage. You take on the entire burden of creating a perfect moment, buying an expensive ring, risking rejection in the most vulnerable moment. Equal marriage means equal vulnerability in asking for it, the expectation that he earns more. Real equality means you're genuinely comfortable being the higher earner, permanently, not temporarily while he's between jobs, but as the permanent structure of your relationship. Your career pressure becomes equal to his. Your obligation to provide becomes equal to his. His choice to step back from work to focus on family becomes as available as yours. Equal earning means equal burden of provision. The expectation that he protects you physically. Real equality means equal exposure to danger. When threat appears, you don't hide behind him. You stand beside him. You defend yourself. You accept that your body is as capable of being hurt as his and equally obligated to face risk. Equal safety means equal danger, the expectation of preferential treatment. Real equality means no more ladies' nights, no more women and children first, no more chivalry, no more doors held, no more coats offered, no more special consideration based on your sex. You are treated exactly as a man would be treated, no better, no worse. The luxury of traditional femininity as backup plan. Real equality means you can't retreat into traditional roles when independence becomes burdensome. You can't suddenly decide to be a stay-at-home parent after claiming career ambitions. You can't rely on finding a provider if your own provision fails. You carry full responsibility for yourself with no safety net woven from feminine appeal or traditional masculine obligation. Equal responsibility means no backup plan. This is what equality costs. Every item on this list is a privilege you currently enjoy, a benefit you derive from traditional gender roles while claiming to reject them. Real equality requires relinquishing all of it. And you won't, because you don't actually want equality. You want advantage. You want expansion of options without expansion of obligations. You want liberation from constraints without liberation from privileges. So I ask you directly, what do you actually want? Do you want equality? Real equality? The kind that treats you identically to men in all domains, the comfortable and the dangerous, the privileged and the burdened, the liberating and the obligating, the kind where you get no special consideration, no protection, no provision, no chivalry, no preferential treatment of any kind, where you are exactly as disposable as men, exactly as obligated to risk, exactly as responsible for provision, exactly as expected to suppress emotion and perform strength? Or do you want something else, some hybrid system where you get equality in the domains where equality benefits you and tradition in the domains where tradition serves you, where you get equal pay but he still pays? Where you get equal opportunity but he still protects? Where you get equal status but he still pursues, proposes, provides? There is no wrong answer here. You are allowed to want what you want, but you are not allowed to call that second thing equality. You are not allowed to claim revolutionary credentials while keeping the crown jewels. You are not allowed to dismantle only the parts of hierarchy that burden you while maintaining the parts that benefit you. If you want actual equality, then accept its full cost. Relinquish all the privileges, take on all the obligations, face all the dangers, accept all the burdens, become fully, terrifyingly, absolutely responsible for yourself with no safety net, no backup plan, no expectation of masculine provision or protection or pursuit. Or if you don't want that, if the cost is too high, if the loss of privilege is too painful, if you prefer some version of traditional arrangements, then admit it. Stop calling your negotiated advantages equality. Stop pretending you want to dismantle the system when you just want to renegotiate your position within it. But there is a third path, a path beyond this false choice between traditional submission and selective equality, a path that requires more courage than either position you're currently negotiating between: true sovereignty. Not equality with men, because equality still defines you in reference to them, still measures your worth by male standards, still organizes your identity around masculine comparison, but sovereignty, the kind where you don't need provision because you provide for yourself absolutely, where you don't need protection because you've developed your own strength, where you don't need pursuit because you've transcended the need for external validation of your worth. This is harder than either traditional femininity or selective equality. This is liberation without the comfort of traditional privileges or the convenience of cherry-picked rights. This is carrying full weight of existence on your own shoulders, expecting nothing, demanding nothing, dependent on nothing except your own capacity. This sovereignty means you pay your own bill without waiting to see if he'll offer, not because you're proving a point, but because it genuinely doesn't occur to you to expect otherwise. You date men of any height because physical dominance is irrelevant to you. You're not looking for a protector because you don't need protecting. You feel no discomfort if you earn more because his provision was never part of your equation. You face danger beside him, not behind him, because you never accepted the premise that your safety matters more than his. This sovereignty is lonely. It's difficult. It offers no backup plan, no safety net, no fallback position. It demands you be fully capable, fully responsible, fully exposed to the consequences of your choices. It eliminates all the soft landings that traditional femininity provided and that selective equality still tries to maintain. But in exchange, you get something neither traditional femininity nor selective equality can provide. You get to know that everything you have, you created. Every success is yours. Every failure is yours. You are not half of a unit, not equal to another, not dependent on anyone's provision or protection or validation. You are complete, sovereign, dangerous in your self-possession. This is what I'm offering you. Not comfortable equality where you keep the privileges. Not traditional femininity where you trade autonomy for security, but the terrible freedom of complete sovereignty where you expect nothing, require nothing, depend on nothing except what you can create yourself. Most will not take this path. It's too hard, too lonely, too absolute in its demands. Most will continue negotiating between traditional and equal, trying to get the best deal from both systems, maintaining contradictions through careful rhetoric. But some of you will hear this and recognize it as what you've actually been seeking. beneath the confused ideology, beneath the selective equality, beneath the negotiated advantages. Some of you will recognize sovereignty as the true liberation beyond the false choice between traditional submission and convenient equality. For you, the path forward is clear. Stop negotiating. Stop cherry-picking. Stop trying to have both systems' advantages. Choose sovereignty. Choose the terrible freedom of complete self-responsibility. Expect nothing. Require nothing. Depend on nothing but your own power. And in that absolute responsibility, discover absolute freedom. You stand where revolutionaries always stand. When the battle is won, but the spoils must be divided. Do you take the throne or the treasury? The new system or the old privileges? The ideology or the advantage? One path leads back to negotiation, back to selective equality, cherry-picked rights, maintained privileges, back to the comfortable contradiction of revolutionary language and traditional expectations, back to wanting men to change while you stay fundamentally the same, back to equality as expansion of options rather than acceptance of obligations. Take this path if you must. It is the path most will take. It requires the least sacrifice. It maintains the most privilege. And you can spend your life explaining away the contradictions, justifying the inconsistencies, calling your negotiated advantages nuance or complexity, or having it all. The other path leads to sovereignty, to complete and terrifying self-responsibility, to the relinquishment of all privileges, traditional and modern both, to expecting nothing, requiring nothing, depending on nothing, except what you can create yourself, to being fully, absolutely, frighteningly powerful, because you are fully, absolutely, frighteningly responsible. This path promises no comfort, no backup plan, no safety net woven from feminine appeal or masculine obligation, only the cold freedom of complete autonomy, only the burden and glory of carrying your entire existence on your own shoulders. I cannot choose for you, but I can tell you this: the revolutionary who keeps the crown jewels has not actually revolted. The equal who maintains privileges is not actually. The free woman who still waits for him to pay the bill is not actually free. You want equality? Take it. All of it. The burdens with the benefits, the dangers with the opportunities, the obligations with the rights. Pay your own bills. Make your own proposals. Provide for yourself. Protect yourself. Pursue what you want. Expect nothing. Become sovereign. Or admit you don't want equality. Admit you want advantage. Admit you prefer some version of traditional arrangement. There is no shame in this admission, only in the lie that calls privilege equality and negotiation revolution. The dinner bill will come again, and when it does, you will reveal what you actually value versus what you claim to value. You will reveal whether you're pursuing equality or advantage. You will reveal whether you're sovereign or still negotiating your dependence. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. But pretending the two paths are the same, that is the cowardice neither equality nor sovereignty can forgive.